What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Marketing Stream. I'm Jason Pantana, and I'm pumped. It's been a couple of weeks, had a little family vacation, and got to do a little bit of traveling, and I'm back, and I'm ready for some more Q&A, having fun today. So if you're watching, if you're live right now, whether it's on Facebook or YouTube, just say hi in the comments. I'd love to know who's on today. Just drop a little note, say hello. And of course, I already have questions. I got 5 questions I want to jump through today. In fact, we're going to go through, just so you know what the lay of the land is today. We're going to do, first up, I created a Facebook custom audience to target my geo farm, but was prohibited from using in my ads. We're going to cover that. And then we're going to cover how to build a successful YouTube channel. Then we'll talk about hashtags specifically in Instagram stories. Does it attract viewers? Then I'm going to talk about why high quality YouTube videos aren't getting any views. And then last, we're going to talk about proximity marketing and beacons and some of that fun tech. And when is it the right time? When is it not the right time? Is the technology there yet? So that's the game plan today. Let's see who's in on the chat. What's going on, Andrew? Good to see you, man. Glad you're here. Hermes, welcome back. What's up, Steph? You were just on the Hermes. You were on the webinar this morning. It's a webinar kind of day, so I'm wearing the same shirt. It's the same day, right? In fact, today's webinar we did the final pivot webinar for Tom Ferry Coaching. We're going to transition into a new product called Pulse. And today was the last webinar, and we talked about building an ultimate lead follow-up plan for buyers, for sellers. We talked about how the customer journey when it comes to buying a house, selling a house can be up to 2 years. And so with that being the case, as an agent, what's your game plan? How are you going to really build rapport with somebody over time? So that was a super fun session. You can head over to Tom Ferry's website. And if you're not a member of Pivot or Pulse or in our coaching system, by all means, put yourself in. You'll thank yourself for it later on. All right. So without much being said, again, if you have a question and you want me to cover it at the end, just drop it in the comments. Tag some friends if they're not on right now and they should be watching right now. If the questions that I just read through a second ago resonate for them, just tag them so they know we're live right now. My goal here today is to bring as much value as possible in terms of how can agents be more effective in their marketing and their nurturing and attracting business. I'm excited because my personal coaching clients right now, when I look at what they're doing this year, despite the hardships and the insanity of 2020, I mean, it's a nutty year, right? But aside from that, they're having record-setting years. Why? Because they're focusing on the business, the operations, the marketing, growth, building the team. They're scaling up. And man, I love that they're being rewarded right now with the best year ever. So let's jump into our content. I got some screen sharing and stuff coming up here real soon. So again, if we're not connected on social, I'd love to connect. My handles are below: Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn. I am Jason Pantana. I'm assuming we're at least connected on Facebook or YouTube, given that you're watching this live stream right now. But if you haven't subscribed, if you haven't followed, please do. I'd love to have more access in terms of content I create that is hopefully valuable to you and meaningful to you in your business. All right. What's going on, Michael Crosby? Good to see you, man. All right, here we go. First question up. I created a Facebook custom audience to target market my geo farm, but was prohibited from using it in my ads on Facebook. This one comes from Bear Homes. Just so you know, as always, if this is your first time watching, I always type my answers in advance just because I want to really think them through. Sometimes your questions stump me and I have to research them. But after this thing publishes, after we're done live today, I'm going to go ahead and I'll put all my answers in written form, kind of in the show notes. So on YouTube, it'll be in the description, and on Facebook, it's going to be in the caption. All right. But here's the answer I came up with for your question. My best guess is you created an audience in advance. So if you go into the Facebook Ads Manager or the Business Manager, which let me just share my screen real quick. We'll make this easier for ourselves. If I do this, let me see if I can make that better. There we go. That's better. So if I go over here to my Business Manager, I'm going to pull up a Business Manager. I should be able to click right up here, and I'm letting it load for just a quick second. And you can click Audiences just like that. And I'm assuming that with this question that something like this happened, that you went and you created the audience in advance. And I want you to see this one thing that loads. Create a custom audience, create a lookalike audience, create a saved audience, or create a special ad audience. And I'm guessing you created a custom audience. Let me go back and review the question just real quick. I created a Facebook custom audience talking about geo farm. Okay, so you're targeting your geo farm. So you probably created a custom or a saved audience whereby there was in fact, I don't even think you really made a custom audience. I think it's a geo targeted audience, which isn't necessarily custom, but you might have drawn an area that was within a 15-mile radius. And so when it came time to actually run the ad, you had to specify that the ad, because it was housing, that it fell under that special ad category provision, which means one of the specific statements or components of that I don't want to say legislation, that policy change that Facebook made last year was real estate agents, housing ads can't target within a 15-mile radius. So within a 15-mile radius. And so because of that, you might have created the audience. It was probably a saved audience. You might have created that in advance, but when it came time to use it up, you couldn't actually use it because you had to specify that it was a special ad category ad. Now, special ad category simply means there was a lawsuit last year. National Fair Housing Alliance sued Facebook because they claimed that it enabled people, advertisers, to target on a basis of discrimination in a way that was violating fair housing. And they won the lawsuit. So Facebook basically restricted the ability for somebody who was subject to that law of the land, restricted them from actually being able to run ads that would, in fact, target on a basis of discrimination, which should never have been allowed in the first place. But in that policy change, Facebook went a little extra distance, and they wanted to make sure they were very far and clear of possibly redlining practices or anything like that. So they said a 15-mile radius is the limit. Now, my understanding is later this year, Google is supposed to have similar changes rolled out for their advertising platform, which would include YouTube, the display network, and Google search ads. So I think that's the reason why you couldn't do it. Your target market was within a 15-mile radius. What you should do if you want to target your area is a couple of things. One, when you create the content, if it's like, pretend it's for a neighborhood, like call the neighborhood Sylvan Park. Just in the content, in the caption, specifically call out Sylvan Park. Be like, hey, it's for Sylvan Park, this or that. Put that in there because there's a learning algorithm in place. And you don't want to discount the fact that Facebook's trying to figure out who's the best person to show this ad to. And so if you give them clues, people who are interested in Sylvan Park, if that's your farm, just for instance, then put it in the caption so that Facebook has the chance to pick up on that. But also make sure that you're smart with your objectives. When you run an ad in the Facebook Ads Manager, it asks you, hey, what's your goal for this campaign? What's your objective? Do you want website traffic? Do you want lead gen? Do you want conversions? Do you want video views or engagement? And there are certain objectives you can choose where you can change how Facebook bills you. Traditionally, when you run an ad on Facebook, it's impression-based marketing. So they're going to charge you for every impression. An impression is anytime anybody sees your ad for the blink of an eye. Like anytime. If I looked at your ad 6 times in a row, it was 6 impressions. So pretty much like you're getting billed just for anything that happens on an ad, except for conversions, traffic, and video views. Those 3 goals allow you to, in the budget section, actually change what you're paying for. So if it was a video, for instance, I'm just imagining here on this particular question, but if it was a video, for instance, what you could do is say, my objective is video views. Then you get down, you hit the target, that 15-mile radius. But you can also then, when you get down to the budget section, just change it to through plays. Change it to I'm only going to pay for through plays, which means 15 seconds or more of the video. That's just one example. If it was traffic, you could change it to link clicks. What I'm getting at is at least you're only paying for the results. If the content is really, truly specific to a farm area or some area that is irrelevant to anybody who's outside of it, then one would think they're not going to click the links. They're not going to watch the videos because they don't relate. So if they watch at least 15 seconds, that's a through play. That's generally a good signal that they meant to watch the video on purpose. So I hope that helps. But bottom line, I think you fell under the special ad category. Let me peek at the comments real quick. What's going on, Neo? What's going on, Amy? Love it. Loft. What's going on? Zachary Faust in the house watching on YouTube right now. The GOAT. You're the GOAT, Zachary. Except you didn't ask me a question this week. I didn't see your question. Where was your question? Of course, I don't really, your questions are always hard, man. You always put me to work when you ask those questions. Let me jump back into the next question. Number 2. This one comes in courtesy of Mr. Sales himself, Mr. Tom Toole, which I wonder if Tom's watching. I got no idea. Tom, if you're watching, say hey in the comments. Tom Toole said, how do I build a successful, oh, there's a typo, a successful YouTube channel? And then he's like, give me all the, this is his word, not mine, give me all the deets. And again, if you're curious, like, how am I getting these questions? I post on my Instagram stories, typically a day or two before I do one of these. I usually do these around this time of day on Wednesdays. Sometimes if I travel or if I have a webinar or a conference, I can't do it. And I move them around, but look at my Instagram stories is where I'll promote these things. And then I also will set the reminders. So make sure you subscribe to YouTube, connect on my Facebook page so you can get the reminders when these things happen. But I always post an Instagram story with questions, or you can, that's where I'm getting these questions from, is through my stories, where Tom Toole, king of expireds, king of sales, Mr. Philadelphia himself, how to build a successful YouTube channel, give me all the deets. I'm going to read you my notes. I went through 4 things, Tom, 4 things. Number 1, look and feel. Number 2 is going to be keywords and tags. Number 3 is video series. Number 4, I called algorithmic optimization. Let me read, if I could, please. Look and feel. We're talking about channel art. Let me actually share my screen up so you can see an example of, let's pull up Mr. Tom Ferry's page. This is a really great looking YouTube channel. So this is a good one to use. So let's talk about look and feel. There's clearly cohesive branding going on here. Logos, fonts, colors, thumbnails, everything's just clean and nice. So we got channel art with links, connect on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, his website. So links with this little subscribe here, and it points to the button right there. We've got his channel icon, which is his headshot. These things are characteristic. Like if you want to have a great YouTube channel, it's got to look like a great YouTube channel, not like a ghost town that nobody ever built out. So look and feel. It's channel art, links, the About tab description. If I go over here, what am I going to see, right? Am I going to learn about who you are? Am I going to like who you are? Is it going to be representative of the types of videos you're making? Channel image, icon, featured content. So this is cool too. Notice I'm a subscriber. If you've never set up a YouTube channel, if you go back in to customize your channel, so what you do is you log into your YouTube channel and then you go up to the little right hand, your face up here in the top right, and you choose to customize your channel. And when you do that, there's basically this home section, and it's got 2 faces. It's got what does it look like for subscribers? What does it look like for non-subscribers? So if I was a non-subscriber, this would actually most likely be his channel trailer, which would be inviting me to subscribe to the channel. But since I'm a subscriber, he uses featured content up here. You can customize what they see. Notice we've got uploads, Best of Tom Ferry on YouTube, Mindset Monday, Tom Ferry Show, Podcast Experience, Tom's Vlog, Real Estate Training Events, Success Summit Feature Keynotes. This is the homepage, right? Now, these rows are pulling from, and by the way, these rows they're horizontal. If you go to Gary V's got vertical rows. You can choose, do I want a vertical array or horizontal array? Just the bottom line is the look and feel of the channel itself. You want to really knock that out. These are actually pulling from playlist. If I click on Tom's playlist, here are these guys' main buckets of content: the podcast, the Tom Ferry Show, Mindset Monday, he and KCM's monthly This Week in Housing reports. Then we got Tom's vlog. Then everything else is basically like specific niche topics where they pull from these buckets and create, hey, Best of Tom Ferry, new to real estate, that kind of stuff, which is designed to get people to watch more than one video at a time. These can then be pulled onto the actual channel as part of the featured rows and columns. So first thing, Tom, on your question is, how do how do I really launch a YouTube channel is you need a great looking channel. Thumbnails, which there's a lot that can be said about these. Like the thumbnails, that's the hook, not the keywords, right? The keywords are in the title, which we'll talk about in a second, but it's the hook, the logo, the branding, the photo. In fact, if you need thumbnails and you don't have a designer, I would recommend just using Canva. Canva has a full suite of actually building out your thumbnails on YouTube. So look at Canva, but make sure it all matches. It's cohesive. It's the right look and feel. Number 2, keywords and tags. I wrote down, and again, I'll put the notes in the description later on. I wrote down, pick your top keywords and work them into your titles, descriptions, captions, and transcriptions. So what does that mean? Keywords. Well, like Tom's going to choose keywords like real estate training. What are you going to choose? Philadelphia real estate. Living in Philadelphia lifestyles, living in Philadelphia, right, Tom? You're going to choose those types of keywords. You should research. How do I know what keywords to pick? Well, I might start typing Philadelphia. Let's just see what we got. Real estate. So I might choose these keywords. Just look through this autocomplete feature. That's a great place to kind of source what are some keywords that people are actually searching for. This is based upon volume. You could also use a tool like TubeBuddy. TubeBuddy is an extension for your Google Chrome browser. It integrates with YouTube. It asks for crazy, absurd permission in terms of what it can and can't do on your YouTube channel, but people use it all the time. It's going to tell you what competitors are using in terms of their keywords and all kinds of stuff. So what are the keywords on your channel? And make sure that your content is really addressing those keywords on a regular basis. But the keywords, they should be in your title. In fact, your title may be the best place for your keywords to exist. A lot of people make a mistake when it comes to their titles on YouTube. They say things like, let's pretend that you're doing you're teaching a recipe for making a cold brew coffee. And it might be like, Ultimate Summer Guide to the Perfectly Refreshing Cold Brew Coffee. Well, that's great, except that you put cold brew coffee, which is your keyword, at the very tail end of the title. And Google reads from left to right. What it should say is cold brew coffee summer recipe, then yada, yada, yada. So keywords in your titles. When I open up a video and I look at the description, do I see keywords? Do I see a description of what the video is about? Why do you think I'm going to put all my stuff in the description on YouTube? It's because I'm trying to get keywords. I'm trying to build up the SEO, search engine optimization of each video. And then also it's what you say. So transcription, believe it or not, YouTube is listening to every word I say. I know I talk fast, but they keep up. So it's the captions and the transcriptions. Are you using the right keywords? I also wrote down here, Tom, I said, check out tools like TubeBuddy, which I already mentioned, YouTube's autocomplete, which suggests popular search queries. Look for and use keyword-rich tags. So like when you set up your channel, you've got to choose tags. I think I chose like real estate marketing, real estate training, real estate coaching. Those are tags of mine for my channel because they're representative of what I do, but they're not just tags, they're keyword-rich tags, meaning they're the kinds of things that are both tags and what people would actually search for, because more than anything else, YouTube is a search engine. In fact, it's the #2 most popular website on the planet, next to Google, its parent company, technically Alphabet, but next to Google, it's the second most popular website on the planet, and it's also the second most powerful and popular search engine on the planet. It's becoming its own verb. People are like, let me YouTube that more than let me Google that. And so you got to play into that idea. How do I get a successful channel? Keywords. It's built for search. Are you built for search? Is your content built for search? Number 3, Tom, is video series. I think I could probably shut this thing down. Let me turn my share off. Video series. Pretend you're a TV channel that airs different TV shows. What are your TV shows? Like I already read off Tom's buckets. Tom Ferry's got the podcast. He's got Tom Ferry Show. He's got Mindset Monday. He's got This Week in Housing with KCM. He's got the vlog. Those are his TV shows. Each one's got its own shtick. It's got its own look and feel. It's got its own episodic, recurring. How often does it happen? What are the series you're going to create? What are your video series? What are people tuning into? Pretend you're a TV channel, like old school, right? But pretend you're a TV channel. What are your video series? Number 4, how to build a successful YouTube channel. Last one I wrote down is algorithmic optimization. I said that YouTube is mostly a search engine, but it's probably like maybe a third or less than a third, a quarter, a social platform. It's kind of hybrid in that regard. So in your videos, ask for comments. By the way, if you're really liking this video right now, put a comment. What question do you have, right? Get people to comment. Play the algorithm up on Facebook, on YouTube. for anybody watching. Leave me a comment right now, tag a friend. But you got to play to that kind of stuff in your videos, asking for feedback, asking for comments, ask for folks to subscribe. And in fact, have your videographer put little ding ding, subscribe now kind of buttons and graphics and annotations on the videos to try to increase people's chances of saying subscribe, notify me when new videos get released. Use end screens. End screens are when you get to the end of a video, it comes up with a little your face, your channel icon for people to subscribe. And also you can choose, hey, what's the next video they're going to watch? I can create an end screen where like a little thumbnail pops up to watch the next video, or it could link them to a whole playlist, because the number one metric that YouTube cares about is watch time. If you're not getting folks to watch your videos, then basically what you're telling YouTube is my videos aren't good enough for ad placement, which is how they make money. So watch time is all you care about. So if I can get somebody to stream multiple videos of mine again and again and again, one after the next consecutively, I am reinforcing my watch time. I'm reinforcing my value proposition to YouTube. So it's really about that watch time metric. Therefore, use cards and end screens. If you want to build those out, go find a video of yours. When you pull it up, like literally pull the video up on YouTube on your desktop, and then underneath it, if you're logged in on YouTube, you click edit video. And when you click edit video, you go into this whole like suite of tools that YouTube gives you to edit the video, and you'll see cards and end screens. They're the same thing. The difference between cards and end screens is that end screens are cards that get placed at the end. So all a card is subscribe, so watch this video, watch these playlists. I don't usually put cards up on my videos because I don't really like encouraging somebody to leave my video while they're streaming it. I'd rather wait till the end, but you know, you got to hedge your bet a little bit. If you don't think they're going to watch till the end, you might want to give them a card because it's kind of a bet you're making. That's what I got for you. So it's look and feel, keywords and tags, video series, algorithmic optimization. Play those 4 ingredients. You're going to build a pro successful YouTube channel. Those are all the deets. I hope that helps. Looking at the comments, let me see what we got coming in. So Andrew's saying, I'm going to see what you said. I think Tom Tool's channel is great, and I agree. Tom's great. Just low views. I guess keyword improvement. Content is good. I was looking for more views on my videos as well, and just experimenting with keywords. And I'm going to talk more, Andrew, in a second about video views specifically. Let's actually pull up Tom Tool's channel. Let's just see what he's got. Here he is, Tom Tool III, 600 subscribers. Here's his channel trailer. He's got a nice channel art. Links here. He needs a little subscribe now kind of a thing. The channel icon's good. These are good. You can improve thumbnails, Tom, no doubt, with some actual hooks, some words on them for me to watch. Get 3 sales in a week. Agent hacks, that's good. This is your agent hack series. Here's one of those vertical. You don't even know what I'm looking at. Sorry, I forgot to share my screen, guys. Let me share my screen. Let's go back to Tom Tools. Here's Tom Tools' page. So nice channel art, but he needs like a little call to thing to like, hey, subscribe, like an arrow pointing down to subscribe. You need more links here than just your website, I think. The channel icon's good. Here's your channel trailer, super nice. You got your uploads. We could look at these for some keywords, but this like tool time, there's no keywords in that. You need to fix that. Here's one of those vertical sections for Tom's Take, your show. Again, we need thumbnails. These all look the same. I can't distinguish between the video series because I know I've got Tom's Take and I've also got Tool Time. You've got different series, but I want to be able to tell them apart as if you're a TV channel, right? As if you're a TV channel. Yeah, otherwise it's pretty good. So I think you probably can take away some pointers from what I shared. All right, let's go back to our questions. Question number 3 is, do hashtags work in Instagram stories? Do they work in Instagram stories? The answer is yes-ish. Hashtags work in Instagram stories. Let me pull up my notes. What did I write down? Oh, just the basics. All right, let's talk about hashtags. I'm going to share up for a second. Here we go. All right, you should have my phone up on the screen right now. So here I'm on my Instagram. I'm going to do a story right now. So here I am doing a story. I'm just going to take a quick picture. That's all. Here we go. Picture. Let's do my do not disturb so I don't get messages coming through. That's a great winner picture right there. Hashtags. So I have a couple of options. I can use the sticker tool at the very top right here. I can use that. and I can add a hashtag, but I only get one, right? Or I can do the text tool and you can add up to 10 hashtags. So let's add up a couple. I'll just do Tom Ferry. I'm going to do hashtag. I'll just do my name. Okay, so I'm just going to do 2 for just the time being. But notice, like, I can pinch them. I can make them very small. I can even, if I wanted to, I can select that text, click this little eyedropper, the eye beaker right there, and I can change the color so that I can camouflage it, basically, where you can't see them. They're kind of buried right here. You could also, if I didn't want to do that, I can also bury them behind something. So I could put the clock. That's transparent. That's a bad example. Let's do, we'll just mention somebody. We'll mention the FARs. So I can hide it. So you can do up to 10 hashtags. I just wanted to briefly show you how to do this if you're not familiar with working through stories, but you can add up to 10 hashtags in your Instagram stories. Let me close this out. And let's go back over here and stop the share. So you get 10 hashtags per Instagram story. You can camouflage them if you want. The question is, are they useful? And the answer is yes-ish. You certainly want to use them, but they're not going to be as effective in stories as they are in your post. And here's why. Predominantly, the way people find you through hashtags is there's 3 ways. They can follow a hashtag where it can show up in their feed. Well, those are going to be posts. If it shows up in the scroll feed, like I follow the hashtag TF Marketing Edge. I follow the hashtag Tom Ferry. So those can show up, like top posts can show up in my scroll, in my feed, but those are only posts. Number 2, you can see hashtags related to stories. If you go into the search feature, it's called the Explore tab of Instagram, which if you look at the lower footer toolbar and you click on the magnifying glass and then you click on the search tool, excuse me, you can search out by tag. It's called tag. And you can search a hashtag and see popular photos that are posts or stories related to that hashtag. But here's the deal. When you do that, you're going to see probably 8 posts to 1 story in that grid. Same difference if you're flat out in the Explore feed. So in the Explore feed, you could show up based upon hashtags that somebody might follow that you're using, but you're probably going to see 8 posts to every 1 story. So in other words, hashtags, you have a much stronger likelihood of being discovered using hashtags for posts than you do for stories, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't do them for stories. You should still use them. It's just don't count on them being like, wow, I'm going to attract tons of people with my hashtags to my stories. So I hope that sort of answers the question, but that's the way that somebody would discover you based upon your hashtags in a story. Let me just check the comments, see how you guys are doing. While we're here, Andrew said, what does Instagram mean by sending your story to close friends? Does that mean that they are alerted to it or keep it in front and center and it not get lost with other stories? If you've been on Instagram, have you ever seen that little green circle icon around somebody's story up top? It means that you're in their close friends. So you have the ability to set close friends. Let me see real fast. Yeah, there it is. Let me share my screen again. So here I am on Instagram once more. And if I click, I'm on my profile grid. If I click right here on this menu, there's an option for, right here for close friends. So you can choose that and then just add people to it and from it and all that kind of stuff. I'm not going to stay there because I got close friends there. But then when you go to share a story, like just for instance, if I clicked, I'm going to add to my story. I'm just going to, there I am again, take a picture of me. Notice the close friends option. If I did that, which I'm not going to do it right now, they're going to see it, but how's it going to show up? I think actually, you can also do send to. Let's do send to. Okay, so send to would send it to them. If I did it here, it's going to send it to them as a post, as a DM, as a direct message. Versus if I go back and do it here, it's going to just be up in the feed, up in the story header bar section. Hope that makes sense, Andrew. Let's go back over here. All right, let's roll on. Next question. Why are my high quality YouTube videos hardly getting any views? This comes from Zach Gudikov and out of Washington State. Why are my high quality YouTube videos hardly getting any views? So Zach, I got some notes for you. I don't know if you're watching right now, Zach, but maybe we can tag you if you'll see this at some point in time. Here's what I wrote down, but let me first actually pull up your channel and just so people can see what I audited on your channel. Here we go. So I'm going to go to your channel right here. This is your YouTube channel. So the question is, why am I not getting views? And I'm going to argue that the first answer is I see no channel art. I see your photo here. There's your name. You've got one video that you've posted, and it doesn't have a very strong thumbnail. Now, I watched the video. You're right. It's high quality. Like, I'm going to pull it up for just a quick second. And I'm going to go to here, like some of the shots.
That is better than expected. Let's go.
Like, it is high quality video. I'm not going to fault you there. I'm just going to read you all the notes I gave. Here we go. You need a teaser clip at the top of the video to keep me watching. When you started, it was really slow. Like, watch. There's no music. There's nothing going on. You're clearly getting the day going. I get that it's a vlog style thing, but there's nothing to keep me. I don't know what this is. So I would have like some kind of eye candy shot, a sizzle shot of somebody surfing or something epic, leave me on a cliffhanger and make me want to watch, do a logo sting to transition into your video. And you also need some music back here because it drug on for like a few minutes of just you guys getting out there to surf the waves and everything. And it was dry. So I need music back there kind of scene to scene to keep me feeling like I'm going somewhere as a viewer. I also wrote down, you've only posted the one video. There's no banner art on your channel. It looks like a ghost town, no offense. Your title doesn't hit the keywords hard enough. So like, let's go back to that, for instance. Surfing Westport Vlog 1. You got keywords, Surfing Westport. But dude, if I type in Surfing Westport, let's just see what we get. Look what you're up, 8.4 thousand views, 3.1 thousand views, 18,000 views, 1.7 thousand views, 20,000 views, 4.6 thousand views. You're up against some serious competition. You're never going to rank. So your keyword is a popular keyword right now. Now, YouTube's a search platform. What that means is you're losing every time somebody's searching for anything around this term right now. So let's go back. What else did I write here? I wrote this morning. Sorry, pulling up my notes. Title doesn't hit keywords hard enough, nor does it let the viewer know exactly what they're about to watch. It's just Surfing Westport Vlog 1. That's not, I mean, like, I get it. There are some keywords, but there's not enough to make me want to watch. And then Surfing Westport, this is also not a hook. Your thumbnail was a big opportunity to hook me with some text that really made me want to watch. What else did we do? You don't have a video description at all. It just says follow you on Instagram. There's no video description. Did you include video tags? I can't see that unless I installed TubeBuddy. Did you include video tags? Your keywords dominated by other huge videos with big view counts. And you've got, this is a sidebar, you've got inconsistent naming convention between your YouTube and Instagram. So like your Instagram, you are Zach Gudico, but you use this fancy Instagram font. And your photo's different. So it's different icon than it is here. And I wasn't actually sure it was the same person. I scrolled down here on your Instagram and I saw that photo right here. And I was like, oh, it's the same guy. So I wasn't even sure. Here's the deal, man. Our brains as human beings, we want to burn as few calories as possible. So don't make me think about, is this the same person? If it's the same person, let me know it out of the gate. So like, make sure it's all matchy from Instagram to YouTube. So I'm like, oh, it's the same guy. But that's not really your question. That's just extra. And then the last thing I said is, that was the last thing I said, was make it easy for my brain to connect that it's the same person across different platforms. So I think if you want to get more views on YouTube, the bottom line is, A, you need to optimize. It's kind of the same thing I was telling Tom Toole with thumbnails and hooks and titles and keywords and all that kind of stuff. You need to optimize. You probably need to look for do some serious keyword research because some of your keywords are clearly dominated by some other big players with big videos that have like 20,000 views and stuff. Find some other keywords that you can tap into to grow your audience a little bit, start showing up as a recommended search and create more videos. You got to give YouTube more to serve up. Right now, you're not playing on their terms. And so you can make a stellar video, but from their vantage point, they're like, I've got plenty of stellar videos with these keywords and they have more videos. If I shoot, like YouTube's algorithms, like if I send this person, if I make Zach's video, the recommended video next, and I send them to go watch his video, then they're up a creek without a paddle because there's no other videos for them to let them watch on your channel. Your channel is a cul-de-sac. Your channel is a dead end right now. You need more videos because from the standpoint of YouTube, there's nothing else for them to watch right now. More videos, increases your recommendation, the chance of you being recommended. All right, let's do the last question here. Actually, there's some comments. Let's see what we got. I'll come back to those, Andrew. Where did I put them? Last one. Does proximity marketing work, i.e. beacons? Do beacons work? This one comes from TLG Estates. All right, so let's talk about beacons. Before we do, I'm going to share a picture to kind of make this a visual aid. I went to Google Images. Beacons, they're like these little things, right? So it's like a little device, small little device that you can kind of stick under a table or something like that at a retail store. And they emit a Bluetooth signal that can be received. It transmits to mobile devices like a phone. And so when a phone walks into a beacon's range, they connect to each other, which gives the beacon the ability to track who's here. And it can actually shoot, basically, it can shoot advertisements and notifications to that user's device based upon them walking exactly into that area. So let's talk about the pros and cons. It sounds great. Beacon technology has been around a really long time. I think it came out in the early 2010s. It's been around, it probably was around before that in some kind of a military grade, who knows? But it's been around a long time. And it was super exciting when it first came out. I mean, the idea that, like, imagine being a retailer, and because a beacon technology can pin somebody down to like inches of where their device is. So imagine like your Nordstrom, and you put beacons, and you put a beacon under the table of one of your racks that has shoes, and you know somebody just walked into the women's shoe section. And so they get a little notification like 10% off today just for me. And they're like, oh, it can prompt people to buy. That's the idea. That's amazing. So people are like, well, what if I put beacons on my yard signs? Cars are driving by and their phone goes zzz, new listing or whatever. What if I could then retarget them based upon that down the road? And it sounds really, really great, except that it doesn't quite work that way because of this wonderful thing called privacy and permission marketing. So what has to happen for a retailer like Nordstrom, for instance, or Apple Store to do that is I've got to have their app on my phone. Because when I download that company's app on my phone, I can, in all the terms I agree to when I download it, agree to allow those kind of notifications, those push notifications to come through. So your device, like if you're on an iPhone, unless you have the app, you're never going to see beacon notifications. Now, I may be walking into a place physically, which, by the way, is sort of an odd conversation right now anyways, given that we're all socially distanced and you know, proximity marketing, retail experiences are different anyways, which I got to give more thought to that. But here's the deal. There's this thing called privacy. So I may be walking in and triggering beacons all the time for all I know, but I'm basically being masked because of my iPhone protecting me. Now, do they get my IP address? They probably do. That could be changing. Do they get my mobile advertising ID? I doubt it. Here's my bottom line with beacons. No, I really don't see them working effectively right now in real estate. I know there's a new protocol. It's not that new. It came out like 5 years ago. It's called Google Eddystone. It's a company, Eddystone. Google acquired them for beacon technology. And the goal of Eddystone was basically to make the way beacons talk to each other, it's super techy, consistent between Android, between iPhone, whatever. And using an Android device, you can actually automatically message somebody. If somebody walks into your beacon path and they're on Android, through the Eddystone project, you can send them a notification, but the notification goes to this very hidden screen that the user is never going to see. So unless you have an app where you can actually, the people are going to use the app, it's popular, then I don't see it as being an effective channel. There could be some sneaky ways to try to score or hack somebody's IPs or mobile advertising IDs and then use that to create a custom audience and retarget them. But I'm not even sure that's legal. In fact, I think it's not legal. So I wouldn't do it. So my answer is no. Proximity marketing really doesn't work. Now, that's geofencing, but people confuse geofencing from geofiltering all the time. And I know we're just kind of slicing hairs here, like splitting hairs here, but technically geofiltering is Google knows where I'm at. Facebook knows where I'm at. I agree to that location tracking based upon being users in their apps or whatever. I can go into Facebook now and create an ad where I target somebody in a specific area. I can go to Google now and create an ad where I target somebody in like down to a 1 kilometer radius in Google right now. That's geofiltering, not geofencing. Geofencing is when somebody triggers your ad or your notification because they walked into your area. Geofiltering is when somebody gets your ad because they had already been in your area. So it's sort of a time delay kind of a thing. So geofiltering, yeah, that's super common marketing. Geofencing, or i.e. proximity marketing with beacons, the permission is not there yet that I really see a specific use for it. Now, if somebody can say, I'm going to put a beacon on a yard sign, or I'm going to put a beacon at the front door, so whenever somebody walks in to see my property or they come up to my flyer box, I can track who they are and retarget them with ads, then I'm like, wow, that's amazing. But to my knowledge, to my research, that's not there yet, at least not ethically speaking. So no is my answer. They don't work, at least not for us here in real estate. Let's turn this one off. Let's see. We got any comments? Any last questions? Think about questions before I wrap up today. I'm looking at Andrew's comments right now. On my test. What are your top 3 real estate agent channels to follow? What are my top 3 real estate agent channels to follow? Let me see if I can come up with 3. I'll share my screen. So I would follow for sure Tim Macy. Tim Macy's got a killer YouTube channel. He gets business off of it. This is a great YouTube channel. So Tim Macy's number 1. I would follow. A few come to mind. Malcolm Lawson comes to mind. Ken Pozak comes to mind. Amber Anderson comes to mind. A lot of good examples out there. Tim's, I love Tim's. Let me stop my share. I love Tim's videos. All right, what else you got for me? Give me some questions. What else? Hermes, should videos always be about real estate? Please no. No, they should not always be about real estate. I mean, if you're in the space of real estate, really what you're, in my mind, like I was having a conversation with an acquaintance of mine, and he's a web developer. And he does not work in the real estate space. And he was saying to me in a conversation, our kids were playing together or whatever. And he was like, man, I don't get what I would do for a real estate agent's page. If I were to build a website or whatever, I don't get how I would market it or whatever. And I said, forget that they're real estate agents. Think of them as personal brands. And he was like, oh, well, that would be different, because the nature of the business is such that people are choosing to buy or sell real estate through you. You yourself are just the broker. You're the knowledge broker. You're the trusted advisor. And so when I think about where are the opportunities to position your brand powerfully, to connect with people on a human level, man, it can't just be real estate videos. It has to be real you with your family, traveling, doing what you love to do, passion projects, causes you care about, houses you love, DIY projects, your life, your business, your town, everything you care about, because that's all part of the package deal. So no, I wouldn't just make real estate videos. Suggestions for getting tech help for YouTube. Great question, Michael. I appreciate that. And I'm happy you're watching on YouTube, man. So here's what I would say to you. I've got a few folks that I really enjoy what they have to share about YouTube. Brian Dean is like my number 1 guy for YouTube SEO. The dude is brilliant. Brian Dean has some great YouTube advice. Jason Whaling has great YouTube advice. And also Surfside PPC has great YouTube advice. But my number 1 dude, if you really want to understand technical SEO and YouTube, if you want to build a channel, I've never heard Brian Dean ever utter anything that isn't gold as far as how to build a channel and succeed on YouTube. Okay, let's see. By the way, Tim Smith, yeah, killer YouTube channel. I like it a lot. All right, any more questions? Going once. I'm going to give it like 6 seconds because there's a delay. Going once. I'm going to go slow. Going twice. Going thrice. And with that being said, I'm going to call this court to order. It's been fun. I hope the content was useful for you guys. I hope I shared some tips and ideas that got you thinking. One thing I will say is I am noticing a lot more questions are coming in about YouTube right now. So I think you can probably smell it in the air. There's a lot of opportunity on YouTube right now, especially through search. One thing I didn't get into that I've talked about in some of our Tom Ferry trainings before is what are called suggested clips. So let me show you this. We'll call this bonus, and then I'm out of here. I'll show you this. Let me see if I can trigger one. I got to go to Google. I'm going to type in How to fix drywall pops. Let's see what happens. You see this suggested clip. It's a Google search, but it's pulling a YouTube video, and it's going to start it right at 2 minutes and 15 seconds. So like you should be answering questions. What are people searching for on Google, on YouTube? Both, right? Answering the questions in video. And then how do you get these things to show up? Actually, I'll show you. Let's go to my channel for a quick second. So I'm live right now. Hey, there I am. I'm live. Let me pull this one up from last week or a couple weeks ago. If you go into my show notes, notice that I timestamp every question you ask. And so I'm building up SEO right now. If somebody types in a search like this from Heather Klompmaker a couple weeks ago, it automatically, all I have to do is type 3:59 and it auto stamps the link to that exact spot. And that's one thing you can do to try to make yourself show up as a suggested clip for when people are searching specific questions and queries that are popular in your area. So there's a lot going on YouTube. Man, right now, it's the greatest time because at your fingertips is a world of digital marketing: YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, you name it. So keep making videos, keep crushing it, keep asking questions. I want to add value to your lives and your businesses. And with that, if on your way out, if you would please tag a friend who should watch the replay, I'd be grateful. If you haven't subscribed or followed, please do that. Leave a comment. Let me know what else you want me to answer in future episodes. And I'm grateful for those who stayed on the line. Have a great day. Adios, everybody.